Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Shu. Yes, a little bit of a name for a game, but we'll deal with it. This is from CodeSync. It came out last week by the time you saw this. I'm sorry I didn't get to it, but I mean, I got the code for this last, so it fell down the priority poll a bit. Not much to see in the options menu. You don't really need to know any of this either way because the game will tell you anyway. You do have online leaderboards for the speedrunning side of things, and that is not a very good record for me, I must say, but I wasn't really focusing at the time. You've got the refuge, but that's just like a small area that you can run around with all the powers you got in the main game and see concept art. So there's no real need to go and check that out. We can just come play the game proper. The game's got, I'm going to assume it has 5 worlds because I'm already through like the fourth world and it's only been like an hour. Maybe an hour and a half. I haven't been paying close attention, the game doesn't have a clock. So that is interesting. It is surprisingly short if that is anything to go by. But let's just hop into the level that I'm up to, which I believe is this one here, Echoes of Distant Legends. And we'll just start. There's no real point in sticking around. There's not much to this game outside of it. There's a couple of things, but nothing too important. Game's load times aren't that bad. The initial load is the worst, but this load here, not horrible, considering the length of the level and the fact that it doesn't have to load at all through it. And the fact that it's a 2.5D platformer and manages to load all this in one go is pretty impressive for the Vita at least. So here we are, Echoes of Distant Legends. This is Shu. It is a 2.5D platformer, except it's not really 2.5D. It's a 2D platformer with 3D graphics. I hate 2.5D when it's not referring to like going into the background or coming out of the background. I haven't seen anything like, well actually to be fair there is like one thing like that they've introduced on this level, this set of levels in particular. So yeah, I guess it is 2.5D, but for the majority of the game that I've played so far, it's not. This is the game, though. It is a very simple two-dimensional platformer. You move using the D-pad or the analog stick, and you jump with the X button. And you can hold a glide with the shoulder buttons, which is a little odd. I don't know exactly why it's not, like, say, double pressing the X button, because that seems like it'd be way more natural to me, but oh shit. That seems like it would be way more natural to me, but I guess not, right? There we go. There are, of course, other things you can do as well, like you get these weird powers by talking to friends of yours that you'll run into. Oh, I should mention before we continue, epilepsy warning. We'll get to that. The game does give you these little powers, though, by running into your mates in the field, and you've already seen one of them. It's the... Actually, you've seen both of them now. You get different powers depending on what world it is, and I'll go back to a previous world to demonstrate what some of the other powers are. But, as you can see, one of them is the ability to fly up in this, Mary Poppins style, because as you can see, she's got the Mary Poppins umbrella, kind of looks like her. And the other one is changing which one of these things here are open at the same time. There are, of course, other different kinds of power-ups, like there's a double jump, there's the ability to walk on water, because water will kill you instantly in this game, and there's a few other things, but nothing too extravagant, I'll put it that way. There are hidden collectibles in every level. There are a few hundred of these golden butterflies that you can collect, and if you collect all of them, you will get part of the way to 100% completion. There are also 6 of these hidden baby birds, and if you collect all of them, that's also another part of 100% completion. And every world in a particular area has... Every world, this statue will fall on me. There we go. Oh, right. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is one of those statues that makes the ground fall in. Oh, and I've gone off the edge anyway. Never mind. That was brilliant. Fantastic work, me. You're welcome, me. So, yeah. And in every level of a world, you can find a piece of a stone tablet. And this stone tablet... Can I just run through these guys? I think I can, yeah. And these stone tablets are also part of 100% completion. They're also a lot harder to find. There are a fair few of them. Whoop. Great, I let go of the glide button. I'm an idiot. There are a fair few collectibles in this game that are hard to find, but for the most part, it's okay. It's nothing that's inherently dickish. You can see most of the collectibles on the main route, and hell, even for most of them, you can see the way to them. There are very few collectibles that you're going to have trouble finding overall, I would think, anyway. Something tells me I'm going to want to go down there for some kind of collect... Ooh, no, never mind. That's the collectible I was expecting. It's another one of those poor little things. Alright. Let them fall over. I'm going up. There is another mechanic to this game, and I don't think it's going to be on this level. It's going to be on the... Yeah, I let go of the glide button again. What do you expect? There is another mechanic in this game that we will get to shortly, but for the most part, this is it. Like, even in the new part of the game that we haven't come across yet, it's still this. It's just this running and jumping and finding collectibles. And I guess the main question... Oop, no, I fell that a little short, because that sword is determined to come down on you. Like, watch this. Smack. So yeah, you need to be a bit careful of that. Yeah, there are a few other mechanics in this game, but for the most part, it is the running, the jumping, and the... Oh, there it is! There's your epilepsy! I'm sorry, I wish I could warn you when that's coming, but even I don't know when it's coming. It comes out of nowhere, and it's always a surprise. I'm kind of amazed, actually, that it somehow manages to be... What the hell was I supposed to do there? It somehow manages to be annoyingly on point with catching you off guard pretty much every time. There's no warning that you're about to get a bloody seizure. And it's just weird. It's really strange. But yeah, this is the other part of the levels. You basically just have to fucking run for it. It's, it reminds me of, It reminds me of Rayman Legends, where you'd have to watch out for, like, the wall of fire or whatever. Thankfully, you get very frequent checkpoints, and the game is very forgiving in that every time you hit a checkpoint, you get your 5 lives back. You start out with 5 lives, and every time you hit a checkpoint, your lives go back up to 5. It's very simple shit. It's very simple, then I said shit. So, what it really comes down to is the running, the jumping, and just the overall, like, collectible platforming stuff. And it's okay. That's the problem. Like, there's a TV trope page called So Okay It's Average, and that's exactly the way I feel about this game. That feels like the absolute perfect way to describe this game. It's so okay, it's average. There's nothing here that even remotely stands out about its platforming. It's just very basic. There's no interesting twists. There's no fun or engaging ways of playing with the formula. It's just... Oh, god damn it. It's just... basic. Very basic and very... It is capable, but... I mean, there are many other better platformers than this. It doesn't do anything to... It doesn't do anything to keep me interested. And that's just kind of disappointing, because they've done a good job with the... Jesus Christ, I hate this. They've done a good job with, like, the way the game looks, and the controls themselves are absolutely fine. Just, you know, actually doing all the platforming and stuff works really well. There's all my lives back, thank God. I was worried I was going to have to restart the level. Move it, damn it. There's the end of the level. So at the end, he'll give you these 3 butterflies. I don't think these butterflies have anything to do with anything. Like, I've gotten gold almost every single time, and it doesn't seem to have any effect other than, you know, that ever so infamous 100% completion thing they got going for them. It's just the platforming just doesn't do anything to keep me interested. I could be playing any number of other platforming games right now, and I would be more interested in them than I would with this. Let's go play Vulture Cliffs. The second level will give us a little bit of platforming practice and some other abilities. And it's just with absolutely nothing even remotely interesting about it. I just find it hard to recommend it to anybody. That's the thing. Like, I could... If you were looking for a more kid-friendly platformer, there'd be better games than this. If you were looking for a more hardcore platformer, there'd be better games than this. If you're looking for a good-looking platformer, there's stuff that's better than this. Like, oh, I just accidentally activated the time trial mode, but I don't think that matters too much. There is a time trial mode, and if you get to the end fast enough, it will count towards 100% completion, and not much else. There was a bird back there. I saw it. I'm just not going to go get it. I don't see the point. You've already seen me pick up one. I got two different guys here. One gives me the double jump, and the other will give me the ability to control platforms with bells on them. Because that is apparently a thing in this game. I say that there are better looking platformers because, well, this game, it's alright. It looks alright. It has its own style and a slight amount of charm, but with no actual game to go with it, it's just kind of hard to appreciate. I'll give them credit though, it does look nice, and it does run pretty well. I haven't noticed any major frame rate drops, the controls are rock solid, there's nothing in the way of that. The game's a little bit frustrating sometimes with some of the trickier puzzles, but those are very rare. Like, seriously, the game is pretty basic all the way through for the most part. Sounds fine too, nothing wrong with the soundtrack. Although I have to admit, I stopped paying attention to it after a while just because it didn't really strike a... Oh, there was a bird back there. Epilepsy warning? No. I have played this stage before. I know that there's a chase in it. I just can't for the life of me remember where it starts because the game doesn't, as I said, the game doesn't really give you any warnings, so you just kind of have to live with it. I wonder why one of those bells are gold. Is that a lighting bug? I don't know. But yeah, it's just, it's okay. Like, I can't think of anything other than it's okay. It works well enough. The platforming is interesting. Well, not really that interesting, but it's capable. But it just doesn't really do anything to make me really want to appreciate it. And that's a problem. There are a couple of other minor nitpicks I could make, like the camera is a little bit weird in that it decides to... Whoops. Yep, forgot I had to do that. The camera gets a little bit weird in that sometimes it's really far away and it's kind of hard to see, and then it gets up close and it's kind of hard to see, but in the opposite extreme, that's kind of annoying, but... It doesn't happen very much, and the game doesn't have any, like, reliance on random stuff, so... You'll be fine. You should be fine. There it is. Had a feeling. And considering how little actual content there is in the game, just because of how few worlds there are and how quickly I've been blowing through them, I find it kind of hard to recommend at its launch price. I believe it was $15. I think I saw it on the store for that, and yeah, that much for this just doesn't sound right. Just doesn't sit right. Another birdie there. It's just so thoroughly okay that I find it difficult to say go and buy this game immediately. Maybe on discount for like $5 if you're desperate for something to do that day. That would probably be okay. It's not a bad game, it's just a really average one that doesn't really set the world on fire, and it's just kind of hard to actually really say anything about it because of that. You can see a little bit of an end-level cutscene here where the darkness is driven back, the characters that you have are lifted away into the sky, and you have to go into the next level with nothing and get some new powers. That's pretty much it. That's the entire circle of the game in a nutshell, more or less. And frankly, I'm just kind of bored playing it because it just doesn't really do anything that interesting. So away we go. I actually got tripped up on this for a while because I wasn't paying too close attention. I hadn't realized that they'd taken away the double jump power up from me, so I went flying straight off a ledge. That was great. And there's the end of the level. Thankfully, it doesn't make you do the Banjo-Kazooie thing where you have to get all the bloody butterflies in one go, but... Well, actually, there's no real but there. That's just a positive. That's just an overall positive. Good lord. I don't have to be that cynical. God damn. So yeah, that was a quick look at Shu. It's okay. It doesn't really rock the boat or do anything new, but it's technically competent. It's a decent platformer. It's just nothing new, nothing exciting. Just pretty basic stuff. I wouldn't recommend it at its full price, but on discount, if you're looking for something to do that day, I'm not really that much against it. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.